Hello everyone, Drad here. I'm going to walk you through today cooking one of my favorite dishes. It's an easier version of a fancy dish. So today we're going to kind of look at how we can take what would be the fancy dish, which is chicken stuffed with ham or bacon and cheese that has been, the chicken has been butterflied and those have been stuffed, and then you cook it in a cream sauce. So we're going to kind of look the easier version. We got the rice cooker going with some just long grain white rice, just some chopped up regular ham lunch meat, some provolone and sharp cheddar cheese, a couple of bricks of cream cheese. I've also got a cubed up family pack of chicken thighs. I like chicken thighs generally better than chicken breasts, so this is a great application for that. You can cook them longer, and you can also cook them without so much worry about them getting tough or dry. Like the chicken breast is really finicky with that way on temperature and time. The chicken thighs are just easy, so I like to stick with those. I've got some cream of chicken soup, some milk. I've got a couple of steamer bags of broccoli that I've already had in the microwave steaming. Once they came out, I just chopped them up into littler pieces. Got some seasoning. I got a package of bacon that I've cut longwise and then cut up into little bitty pieces, and then I've just got them cooking. I'm not going to use all the bacon. I am going to use some of the bacon grease to cook the chicken in, but I'll use what I want out of the bacon and use the rest for some other applications later. Alright, one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of slightly pre-cook the chicken. I'm not actually going to cook it all the way through, but I do want to get some browning on the outside and get it started cooking so that it doesn't take as long cooking with the rice in the casserole. Since I've got the rice with it, it's not just going to be in the liquid, which normally I would cook it raw in the cream sauce liquid, which would be fine. But since there's going to be rice in it, I don't want that to get quite as sticky or have a chance to burn or any of those things. So I'm going to pre-cook the chicken just so it doesn't have as long to cook. Not a mandatory step, but gives me just some flexibility and maybe cuts down on the cook time in the long run a little bit while I do some other stuff. So I'll do a little Greek seasoning with the chicken, some black pepper. The Greek seasoning has a lot of salt in it, so I don't usually add salt at this stage, but you might need to add a little depending on how much chicken you're using. I'm making basically like a big double batch, so I might add a little bit of salt. I might just salt the broccoli before I put it in, and that way everything's got a little bit of salt to it. So I did ground thyme, black pepper, garlic powder. Just kind of doing this by eye, and a little ground oregano. Doesn't have to be these, it just complements well. The earthy sage would be good, thyme or ground oregano, those are really earthy flavors, which kind of melds well with the cream sauce. So just going to take this, kind of mix it around just so that it gets some coverage before I put it in. I have a big pan, so I'm going to be able to cook, actually start all of this all at once. Normally you'd probably need to do this in a couple of batches, depending on how big your pan is. I might even still have to do it in 2 batches. Probably going to go ahead and add just a little salt at this time. Make sure to fully turn it over so that the stuff on the bottom gets what it needs. I've got a lot of the bacon grease as well as some vegetable oil in my big pan. I'm going to move, maybe tilt you over in that direction so you can just see, at least to get started, get this thing out of the way. Just to see what I'm doing. I have my super large fryer pan, not a frying pan, but a fryer pan.
There's a lot of fat in this pan. It's not, I'm not deep frying it, but there's still a significant amount of fat in here. Cooked medium-high heat. I want to get a little bit of brown, so now that I've got it spread out, I'm just going to let it sit there. I got the oven just dinged for preheating 375, but it's going to be a while before we get to it. So I'm just going to stop it here and we'll come back in a second. Okay, I moved the big stand mixer over. This could just be done in a bowl with a regular hand mixer. I wouldn't do it with just like a spoon kind of mixer, because mixing cream cheese to like some kind of smooth, even semi-smooth consistency is really tough. And so I just let the machine do the work because I have the stand mixer, but just like a little hand mixer would be just fine. Like you'd make up a cake batter or something like that. So I'm gonna get a little rubber spatula that's really long and thin, which I'll use to scrape down and get stuff out of things. So I'll start with cream cheese. And then I'll start with a can of cream and chicken. I have 3 lined up, and this is that was 2 blocks of cream cheese. Like I said, I'm making a big hearty double batch, so like double batch plus, if you will. I just want to start it, get some pre-mix. At this stage, I'm going to fill up my cream cheese can with just fill it up with milk. And slowly pour it in. You don't want to just dump all the milk in because it'll splash everywhere. Start slow. No, stop it. Nowhere near done yet. Scrape off some bits. I'm gonna go with another can of cream of chicken. Alright, get this started again. Give it a little more speed on the whipping, so that maybe it will get a little smoother. I have the big paddle on now. I might switch to the whisk in a minute. Or it's be fine if I just use this the whole time now. Slowly. Another can of milk. Down here before we make too much of a mess. Stir my chicken. So a little bit started to color on one side, so alright, now time to do the last can of cream and chicken. Now let's go ahead and lift this, get it out of the way. This time I'm gonna go ahead and scrape down the bowl. Make sure nothing's stuck to the sides. Big clumps anyway. Three cans of cream and chicken and 2 blocks of cream cheese and 3 cans of milk. I'm going to go ahead and put a little of that grape seasoning in here. I'll do the same with the other spices as well. It's good to season all the separate elements. Black pepper, garlic powder, thyme and oregano. Just tiny little bitty bumps. That's fine. You get this hot, those last little bit of bumps of cream cheese will melt and it'll be consistent. There's no need to go overboard. Stir the chicken around one last time. I'm going to turn this off. It's not, the chicken's not completely cooked all the way through, but it's mostly cooked. And that's going to be good enough. That'll be good enough. So now it's really just kind of assembly time. I'll kind of do this in a couple of stages here. I'm going to just take, first get some of my stuff out of the way, and then we'll clean up, and then I'll come back. I've got a casserole dish, and I'll come back when things are manageable, and then we can just do the last assembly. Okay, we're back, and my rice cooker is just finished, so perfect timing. I'm going to start by dumping a good bit in. Ooh, steam. A little too much. There we go. Steam everywhere. It is. A little burning to the touch. A little overzealous on my part. It's okay. I kind of want this amount of coverage. Rice is supposed to be, you know, a significant portion of the volume of what's going on here. That's 50%, maybe a little more. I'm going to go back. Take about half of my broccoli. Half of my cheese. Ham. This is like literally just a 1 pound package of lunch meat. I just cut it up, little round slices into like these cubes. Maybe that was a little more than half. Right. Get some in here, slotted spoon. For the chicken, bring it over, set it on a pot holder so it doesn't burn the countertop. There's some fat still all over the chicken. That is okay. Perfectly fine. Alright, that's about half the chicken. And now I'm just going to kind of mix this up a little bit before I put the sauce in. That'll help because it'll be much, like I'm already, as you can see, the volume is riding the top. I have probably overfilled this a little bit. It's a problem that I have. This is okay. This is workable. I think it's workable. Now with the sauce, I'll eyeball about half. I didn't give any specific measurements because it doesn't really matter. The salt levels, the only thing you can really get too out of whack. So, spilling over. There we go. Be careful. See, I have overfilled that bottom edge here a little bit. There we go. That's about right. You want it to be wet everywhere, but not soupy. All right, now level it out. And the last thing I do before I put it in is I'm gonna grab some Ritz crackers to put on the top. Probably about just one of the regular sleeves. I usually just poke open one end and kind of smash it while it's still in the package. Some people put it in a big Ziploc and then crumble it there so you get more room. Doesn't matter. Now I'm just going to kind of spread these out a little bit. Now, some people, when you put crackers and breadcrumbs, stuff like that, you usually melt butter, put over the top. You can do that. I have found that with the fat underneath and Ritz being particularly already buttery crackers as it is, I don't have to. So then I'll repeat this for my other casserole dish. I'll put them both in. 45 minutes since I've already kind of cooked the chicken. Maybe an hour. Since I'm doing two, I might do an hour. If it was raw, it'd probably be like an hour and 15 for one. Something like that in just the cream sauce. But that's it. I'll come back when I take it out of the oven.